Okay, what's up, people of the planet? As you can see, it's me, Morgan B. Ow, I just hit my knee. And all that rhymed. But regardless, it's me, Morgan B of Planet Morgan Podcast, and different location. We're doing a bedroom episode today. Because what I learned today, I was feeling bad for myself. I was having like a little pity party, but I'm 21 now. I can't be sitting around just feeling sorry for myself and not doing nothing about it. Like, I gotta get up. So this led me to another bedroom episode, and I'm ready to share what I got today. I feel like God led me here. I think God led me to talk about exactly what I've been talking about because I've been noticing some things. I've been noticing a lot of things, learning a lot of new things, and I hope that this episode makes sense as to why I said that. I'm gonna name this episode 7 of In My 20s, even though it's not in the studio. The studio doesn't matter. I realized that I don't need the fancy setup if I have a message, and I think I was losing sight of why I was doing my podcast for real, because I have a message to spread. In My 20s is literally me documenting how I feel, like the perspective of myself, my insight on how I look at things on the outside world, me strengthening my relationship with God, me getting in my word, just my frontal lobe development, like me just gaining an understanding of certain things, grasping concepts that I would hope other people in their 20s are trying to get a grasp of. Okay, so I made a very detailed list, and I'm gonna call this episode Concepts. I made a very detailed list of concepts that I like, dislike, or don't understand / confuse me, like I'm trying to get an understanding of. And really and truly, the dislike and don't understanding, a lot of the concepts that I have written down, they mesh. Like, they mesh together. But I'm just going, it's all from the perspective of my 21-year-old brain. So, like I said, I made a detailed list. It wasn't hard because majority of these things still confuse me to this day. And I'm just still trying to gain an understanding. Like, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I am trying to learn everything. So it's easier for me to write stuff down. And the start of this series, the start of my podcast, really, it started as just me reading my journal entries. Like, I wasn't on no, it was just audio. Like, I didn't even have the courage to do video. So like, I'm just, just follow along. Also, I took my braids out. The puff is puffing, is it not? That's besides the point. Anyway, let's see. I'll start with, y'all know if I got the MacBook out, the people who see my setup in the studio, bro, if I got the MacBook out, and it's right here if y'all can't see, if I got the MacBook out, that means notes galore. But I legit have a list. And like I said, it's a list of things I dislike, like, or don't understand. And okay, cool, I'm just gonna get into it. Number 1 being wealth ladders, which I'm certain everybody knows what wealth ladders are. I think that falls, like I said, the dislike and things that I don't understand, they mesh together. So I think the fact that we have wealth ladders in the first place is the part that I dislike. And then the concept of them, like how they move, how they work, how they maneuver, is why that's the confusing part, if that makes sense. And I think I dislike it because this falls into my second reason. So I'll read my second concept. My second concept is produce being sold to us. That's a dislike. That's a very strong dislike. I don't know why I'm laughing. Strong dislike. I don't like the fact that produce is getting sold back to us. And I mean, like, fruits, vegetables, like all stuff that comes from the ground. And I'm going to explain why. And, I've been preaching this same story, like, around the time, like, same time middle school, I discovered and understood what the word capitalism meant. And now, since y'all have found yet another way to not only, another way to oppress the entirety of the human race, like, not just socially, but economically, let's take it all the way back to the beginning, to the 7 days. Y'all know what 7 days I'm talking about. The 7 days, the beginning times. The 7 days God, took his time and made something beautiful, which is what we call Earth, right? So I have some stuff written down. In those 7 days, first day, God was like, let there be light. And then there was light, right? Okay, you following? In this book of Genesis, if you are new, which I was new to, because like I said, me getting into my word is also like having to read the Bible is a very new thing that I'm trying to, like, what's the word? Input into my life. So I don't think that's the right word, but I'm trying to incorporate that into my life and like my daily routine. So, and it's something that I still struggle with. But I'm really trying. But I did learn this. This took this is the fattest paragraph that I have on here. It's like a very long of me understanding Genesis, like writing it out and how this correlates to the fact that I don't like produce being sold to us. I don't like that. So, like I said, first day God said, let there be light, and then there was light, right? He's God. The dude, the man, if he said it, then it was. If he said it, then it happened. You following? So he said, let there be light. There was light. We got light. Okay, cool. So then he separated the two. He gave us night, which was the darkness, and he gave us day, which was light. And then morning comes, and then, we on the second day, and then he divided the waters. So, the separation between space and earth. And then moving into the third day, it's that third day, for real. Third day, what goes on the third day? Sorry, y'all, I'm reading, and these glasses aren't prescription, so it's not like they're helping me see. But third day is really what, I'll put emphasis on this because God said, let waters beneath the sky flow together in one place so the ground can appear. And mind you, everything that I'm explaining happened. Everything that, because if it didn't, we wouldn't be on Earth. Earth wouldn't be a thing, the world. It just wouldn't. Come on now. And that's something that, it's hard. It's easy to hear, but it's another thing to believe, which is crazy. Like, this is just a crazy concept. So I understand when people are like, what? Like, but he did it. He did it. Everything he said happened. Don't play with Big G, okay? Like, everything he said happened. Dude said, let there be light. And we have light. And he called it day. Like, come on. And if it wasn't him, who? Okay? So, like I said, okay, so on that third day, and I'm not paraphrasing this one. This is more on the third day after, let the waters beneath the sky and flow together in one place so we can have ground. Boom. We still on that third day. Third day, God said, let the land sprout vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant and trees. Whoa. Trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they come. And it happened. By the way, if it didn't, we wouldn't have trees. If it didn't, we wouldn't have fruit. Keep that in mind. Like, keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, the concept that I'm on is produce being sold to us, which also ties into another concept that I have, which is the idolization of money. But we're gonna get there. Just bear with me. Boom. So, God said everything that I just read about the let land sprout vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant, every plant that has seeds and can produce something. He said, let them grow. Like, let them grow the seed-bearing fruit. Boom. So, and that's also, if you really think about it, if you really think deep into it, we're also seed-bearing. He was very intentional with his wording, and a lot of things just start to make sense. Like, when he created the world, like, he was so intentional, even down to him creating the human race. And I'm going to get into that, but I just had to stop and say that he was very curated, very intentional. He created it perfect, like, in his image, and he was perfect. So it's just like the way that humans have turned around this world. I'll keep reading because all that is going to make sense. So then he said, these seeds will then produce these seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they come. Okay, that's the reason why we have fruits, vegetables, just all sorts of produce, vegetation. As he said, every seed-bearing plant grows a seed-bearing fruit. Like, okay. So then he said, I'm moving, hold on. But like I said, everything that he said happened. Like, everything happened, and I'm still not finished. So moving on to the fourth day, he brought along the animals and the sea creatures and all of that, like all the animals to fill the sea. And then the marking of the fifth day, we're going to skip past a little bit. The marking of the fifth day, God said, let us make human beings in our image to be like us. To, and I quote, reign over the fish in the sea, birds in the sky, livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals. Okay. God says, and like I said, so naturally humans are created, and then God also says, be fruitful and multiply, which is why I said he's very intentional, because earlier when he was creating the fruit, he also said, seed-bearing fruit, let the seed-bearing plants grow seed-bearing fruit. So like whoa, what was that? He could also just be talking about us, like, very intentional with his wording, like, we're us. You get, like, the dude was just cool, bro. He was cool. He was cool. Everything that he said happened. The man is magic. Like, I can't. Anyway, so, I lost my train of thought. Okay, moving on. So, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. Fill the earth and govern it, by the way. Okay. So he said, and I feel like this just gave me more confirmation on the fact that I need to film this podcast episode, because I had to break because everything just started falling apart as soon as I was getting like passionate about it, getting more deep into it. That's all them everybody moving on. If you know, you know. If you understood that, you understood that. So boom. So then, like I said, God says, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and govern it, right? Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals, so forth and so on. And then because he was perfect and he left more instructions, right? More guidance. He left more guidance, more step by step to how we can like live in his image, the image he created us in, right? God said, I have given you God said, this is a quote. God said, I have given you every seed bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food, given all the greenery as food for the animals. And it happened. And he looked at what he made, right? He made this beautiful creation, like this beautiful creation. He looked at what he made. Yes, given all the greenery as food and the animals, and it happened. It happened. Guys, I'm gonna read it again. God said, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food. God said, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food, given all the greenery as food, the animals, and it happened. It happened because he was that guy. Because he knew once he created humans, we were gonna need food. And this is why. Now we're starting to get into one of the top 2 concepts that I dislike. Top two dislike is produce being sold back to us and the idolization of money, capitalism. I dislike it. I dislike it all of it, because God said, and I'm gonna read it again for the people who don't understand. God said, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees of your food, given all this greenery as food for the animals, and it happened. And he looked at what he made, right? This beautiful creation. And he saw that it was good, and assuming so, since he created humans in his own image, right? He created us in his own image. That we will work together to maintain what he created just for us. We would be appreciative. We would be grateful. We should be grateful, right? I told y'all, I don't like produce being sold back to us for this. Like, this is why in my last episode with Percy, he was saying we should learn a skill. We should learn how to garden, because capitalism is everywhere. They are overcharging us for things that God placed on earth for us. For the free ski, like he placed it, he knew once he created humans in their image, they're gonna need food. They're gonna need we're supposed to govern it. We're supposed to maintain this, work together, be a community. We're social beings. We're supposed to socialize, communicate. In any part of what I read, let's slow my roll. So, we should be grateful. Let me start there. We should be grateful. I should be grateful, because it's not like I'm not perfect. I be going to the store. I definitely give in. I have to buy fruit, but I mean, that's the world that we live in right now. As of right now, to live, you just have to abide at this point, as of right now. Okay. So I want to read something that I wrote down. This is where my 2 cents come in. And this is the reasoning right here on why I don't like the fact that produce is being, for all that matter, produce, greenery, all the vegetation that he said he placed on earth for us to eat, the seed-bearing fruits and plants that he placed on earth for us to eat, the greenery for the animals to eat, because he not only did he leave food for us, he left food for the animals too. And all we were supposed to do was maintain it and govern it. That's literally what it just said. In everything that I just read and explained, in what part of any of that did I say, or did he say humans reign over each other? In what part of that did he say, I'm gonna leave this specific human in charge of stripping humans as a whole of what God provided and making them work every day, and then charge them an arm and a leg to buy back what God created for us, what God left for us and animals? Where does it say that? Point me to that section, because I didn't read that. I did not see that. I didn't see that. I swear to you, I didn't see that. I didn't read it. And the list can go on and on, by the way. And I think, what's the part that I'm looking for? In what part did he leave one specific set of people? Let's get into the racial issue. Let's get into this. In what part did he leave a specific? And this is going all the way back. Like it, you know what? It in fact is that deep. I know this started off as me talking about produce, but in what part of that? And what part of what I just read, because it was straight quotes. I was reading straight quotes from the book of Genesis. In what part did I say, or did God say, did he leave one specific set of people to gain ownership over another? Because at some point, African Americans, Black people, we were owned. You wasn't living freely. You were owned. We own you. We own yours. We own you as a human. You now belong to us. Right? Okay. When he created humans back in the day, like, when did he say, oh, I want division? Did he say, I want division between races? I want division between financial statuses. I want one race to be beaten. One race to be beaten for not looking the same way as another. For not looking the same way as the one doing the beating. When did he say that? When was that said? Please. So and keep in mind, I'm only on the second concept. This is why I don't like produce being sold to us, because if we just strictly going off exactly what the word said, if we're going to take it all the way back to the beginning, why are we being charged with something that God left? He covered his tracks. He was that good. He was that smart. He was that calculated. He knew. He's like, I'm going to create these humans. I know they're going to need food. I'm going to cover the tracks. I'm going to make Earth so beautiful and cover it in all this nature and all these, everything that comes from the ground, fruits, seed-bearing plants, seed-bearing fruits, greenery for the animals. He knew. So he put it there, and it happened. And we've turned it so ugly. People are legit. Companies are to make a profit to the dollar sign. The dollar sign is an evil tactic, because some companies have legit taken all of these, growing this stuff and stripping it from the ground to resell it back to us, what God left for us. They took it. They took it. I can't even do nothing but really laugh for real, because how did we even get here? So that's why I hate produce being sold to us. Like I said, at what point did he say he wanted division? What point did God say he wanted division between races? He made humans in his image, the way he wanted us to be, the way he viewed us. And we do stuff like this. My confusion, bro. This is also something that I dislike as well. I'm just understanding. Like, he didn't say that. And like, my God was perfect. My God was intentional. He was very calculated on his creation. He knew what he wanted. He was perfect. And it took one greedy man to actually say, if God has this power, so should I. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. Yeah. So let me become in control of things. And no one has noticed that since all these behaviors and patterns that are not of God slowly start to just trickle in, everything just slowly starts to dismantle and break down. And now I'm of the people who view Earth as anything other than beautiful, anything other than what it was intended for. My God was perfect. My God was intentional. My God was calculated. Like, he knew what he wanted, and he created it, and everything that he said he needed and wanted, it happened. All the way down from light, day and night, to separation of seas, to separation of water and ground, all the way down to humans, what humans were going to eat. Like, like I said, very calculated. He knew what his intentions were. And it took one greedy, selfish man that started all of this, that said, if God has his power, then I should too. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. The veil is a thing, by the way. Thin line, very thin line between it. It just wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't, I don't think anyone was supposed to have more power over another. We were supposed to be in his image. Like, he created us in his image. I hope that all makes sense. I just don't understand. And has anybody else noticed that ever since all of these behaviors, idolization of money, all these behaviors, and patterns that began that were not of God, everything just slowly starts to dismantle and break down. And now I'm one of the people that see Earth as anything else other than beautiful. We have literally turned it ugly. Anything now, it just, like, other than what it was intended for. You know, like, back when humans didn't idolize money, back when one group of people didn't hold themselves to a higher standard as another group of people, this has taught me nothing but you can't do without God. You just can't, because we came on someone else's creation and just thought, actually, I don't need the person who set the system up help. I don't need his help. I don't need it. And now we're starting to realize why a lot of us be going nuts, why a lot of us go out and do drugs. A lot of us just losing it because you came on somebody else's creation and just thought you knew exactly what to do. Go get in a rocket ship. Go fly a spaceship, bro. And tell me you don't need a pilot who knows what he's doing. Like, keep that same energy and go and try to go fly a rocket ship, bro. Be for real. Sometimes it's like, take that same mentality and go fly a rocket ship, bro. I will set a timer for how long until the rocket ship crashes, because it's the same thing essentially. Same thing I finalized about the separate final. That made no sense. But I'm just saying. And that's why I don't like produce being sold to us, because I don't think it's not of God. That was my second concept. Moving on to the third concept this actually is an add-on. This is a piggyback. Something else that sticks out to me is that this one is just something that I don't understand. It raises my confusion, because I did say dislike raises confusion. God took 6 days to build. He took 6 days to create, right? But Bible says 7 days. Everybody knows if you ask them, they're going to say 7 days. Quite actually, after doing some reading, which I know this could have been common knowledge to anyone, but like I said, new to this, not true, but I'm attempting to be true, but I am new. He took the last day, he actually took 6 days to create, but the 7th day, the last day, that was his rest day. So, like, to me, this is now where we're getting introduced to, I'll call it blessed time. Blessed time to separate us from labor days to build. And nowadays, people can't even take a break from work, because we live in a system where if you don't have money, you don't get these benefits. You don't get the overpriced produce that God actually put here for the free ski. But capitalism. So I'm going to take it, call it organic, and resell it back to you for like twice as much, because I can do that because I have money. Oh, I don't like this system. I'm not a fan. But like I said, which shouldn't be like I said, you don't get these benefits if you don't have the money, which shouldn't be a benefit, because if it wasn't a factor when a perfect man moved forward with his idea of a perfect creation, am I making any sense? But now where I'll attack myself is, since he is perfect, he adapts. So seek God, call on his name. If you get it, you get it. I feel like, yeah. I'm now moving on to, this is more in my 20s, more like girlhood in my 20s. It's being an avoidant. Concept number 3, one that I dislike, or 4. No, I'll go 3, the idolization of money. And I realized that money truly can be the root of all evil. Y'all ever heard that little saying? Because I learned this in middle school. Like, I know I shouldn't have been learning in middle school, but I did, where it was like strange things for some change. Do something strange for some change. Something like that. It was like, do something strange for some change. I said all that to say that's legit. People really, and I'm not saying like anything strange. Like, that's not, in middle school, that's not where my mind went. But I think now, I think now I gained a better understanding, just becoming more into adulthood, that people do some weird stuff for money. People will slime their partner, backdoor their closest homegirl, backdoor their mama about some money. And especially living in Louisiana, about some money, boy, they'll murk you. They will take you out the game. Like, and I just don't understand why money has this much power to make somebody so happy or make somebody so sad. Like, money, I've single-handedly watched money control somebody's emotions. I've watched money, that be the reason people fall out. I've watched, like, I don't like that money has that much power over people. I don't like, and I'm not even gonna call out people. I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't like that money has that much power over me, because it shouldn't. Like, I don't like it. I feel like, if anything, call out on the Lord. Because at the end of the day, he didn't factor in, money is a man-made concept. He didn't factor in money. I mean, if I'm sitting here, and this is not going off word, this is just based off my assumption, and I think I need to go read the Bible, figure out more on this, because he can, like I said, he is perfect, so he can adapt. He has adapted. He does adapt. He accounts for all the flaws and all the sins that take place on his creation. But, and I again, not perfect, still trying to get into the word, but if I feel like, let's run it back. So call on the Lord, like I said. But I don't want a lot of things. It just wasn't here, you know. Like he accounted for us to have food. He accounted for us to govern. He accounted, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he made sure to place things on this earth, all the necessities. And like I said, money is a man-made thing. So the fact of the matter that people are okay. He created humans in his image, right? People are okay with tricking or classifying people to certain hierarchical statuses or social statuses or financial statuses based off how much money be in your pockets. You can't even get in certain rooms without how much money can be in your pockets. And I'm not mad at the concept, because at a certain point, like, you know, I think there's like some wise people that do make a lot of money, but that's hard to find. I also think the fact that it's families out here, like families with little kids that can't even, like, they having a hard time taking care of their kids because they don't have money. They having a hard time feeding their kids because some rich a-hole went and took produce from the ground, stuck an organic label on it, and resold, and like trying to resell it and call it organic fruit, even though God put it in the ground for the frisky, because he knew his humans he needed to eat. So the idolization of money, I don't like that, because it's a lot of people, like a lot of trickery that will go on behind that, a lot of just heartache. Like, why do we live in a system where your life literally has to be controlled by money? Like, it's certain things that you just can't afford to make it happen. It makes it so hard for us, for Gen Z. I'm 21, I'm young. I have friends, homeboys, 19, 20. Like, my whole friend group, all my friends are in the range from 19 to 22. We are young. We are the next set of adults. Why do we live in a system where we can't even feel like we could chase our dreams? That doesn't feel achievable because we don't have money. We ain't making no money. And then on top of that, nowadays in 2026, the economy, bro, people can't get jobs. It's so hard to get jobs, and ain't nobody out here looking to hire no college student who's stuck in the books or just want to party. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out here doing that. They not hiring us, but they want to charge like $1,600 rent to a college student, bro. And also, when they do hire us, we making minimum wage. $12 an hour is not finna pay that $1,600 rent consistently. I mean, it's not about to do that. So I just hate that we live in a system where life, joy, like just joy in life have to run off money. I don't it just wasn't supposed to be like that. And I hate the fact, like, you know what? Out of all the times that I get depressed about still living in my mama's house at 21, I know for a fact, and I'm humbling myself, I'm not scared to say this, I know for a fact that as of right now, I'm gonna keep dedicating my money to supporting my dream, because ain't no way in hell that I could just walk outside and go get me an apartment, $1,600. Like, that shit, that would drain me financially. Like, no. And then, not to mention college payments, like, that's already expensive in itself. The fact that you got to go get a degree, but the degree is going to cost you about $40K a year, by the way. But that's another story for another day. But like I said, moving on to the real concept, number 3 is being an avoidant. I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I'm an avoidant myself. When it comes to relationships and dating in your 20s, it feels like sometimes, I don't know, has anybody ever liked somebody so much that it's like gut-wrenching, like it hurts, and you just quite actually just want to get away from them? Like, don't come near me because I'm like falling in love with you for real. I'm falling in love with you, but I can't like the thing is I can't ever finish that statement. I like you so much, but like I can't. There's nothing that comes after the can't. I don't know what that means, and that's what boils my blood. That's what makes me so mad about being in avoiding, because I don't even know what I'm avoiding. I know what I'm avoiding. Why am I avoiding natural feelings, hard conversations? Because I could sit in front of this camera and I could talk all day in front of this microphone, talk all day. But when it comes to somebody that when it comes to somebody that my heart beats for, bro, I gotta run away. I can't have the conversation with you, dog. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I've done. I don't know. It being an avoidant is tough. It literally, and then the quite actually the matter is, people really think, because I've had people think or come into my life that we're childish, we're playing games because we can't even like do they not understand that this is not a game, this is not childish. My heart is literally, I'm breaking my own heart, avoiding the fact that I don't want to break yours, because I just don't think that I could be there for you. It literally feels stuck, like I'm drowning or like I'm suffocating inside of emotional feelings. Like it's just unbearable for real, and I can't take it. But I don't like the fact that they think it's childish, because they don't understand that we be hurting too, especially letting them go. That's a hurting process in itself, and we don't even, not that we don't know why we letting them go, but it's not like we want to do that. Like I'm not gonna necessarily say we want to, but it still hurts in itself. So I hate when people be like, being an avoidant is childish. You won't know what it feels like to be an avoidant until you avoid some strong feelings for somebody and actually like leave them alone, walk away from them, because like it hurts. And I don't know what the explanation is for it. You just gotta, at some point, you just gotta confront the feelings, confront the avoidance shield that is letting you stay, keeping you confined. Yeah, being an avoidant sucks. Hope anybody else can relate. If you're 20 in your 20s and you can relate to being in a way, let me know, because I mean, like I said, at some point you just gotta not do that. Like just not do it. And sometimes it's really not that easy, and boom. So number 4 on my concept list, Dan Schneider. I hate that guy. I dislike that guy. I don't like Dan Schneider, and especially because I read Jeanette McCurdy's book. You're weird. You're a weird guy. And the fact of the matter that I still have younger siblings that watch your Nickelodeon shows, and I'm watching them as an adult now, doing playback, watching them, and all the dirty, corny jokes that you stuck in you stripped us of our childhood. Why did you do that? Because you were obsessed with feet and you were freaky. Why? Why'd you do that? Why'd you put that so, like, you didn't even attempt to hide it well, really, when I'm now watching back with, a little piece of my frontal lobe is there a little bit. You didn't even try to hide it for real. Your weird obsession with feet, your dirty jokes, especially in like Victoria's. Oh my gosh. Your dirty jokes, dirty sound effects, your weird scenes, and feet. You're weird. Like this is just creepy. And then looking up what you look like, and I'm not gonna shame you for like how you look, but like that doesn't make it better. So like it's just creepy. Like I said, he's a concept. That's just when I dislike. Not that I don't understand. I guess I really don't understand it, but you know what you did. And you're gonna get up. We're gonna have Tebow from iCarly get up and do that phony interview of you. Bunch of BS, just lying. All you was doing was lying. You was just lying on there, talking about you ain't never did that. And then on top of that, another reason why I don't like you, Amanda Bynes. Simple, plain as that, because she's messed up to this day. And I love Amanda Bynes. I love the Amanda Bynes show. Loved her and all that. Love her on that show. What I Like About You, I think that's what it's called on Netflix. That poor girl, her childhood gone because you was weird, bro. Strange. And a lot of our childhood is why we Gen Z is probably raised up so many hypersexuals we didn't even know it. So many weird obsessions with feet we didn't even know it. And you could be playing a part in that. And it's everywhere. Yeah. Another concept that I don't like, profanity. I don't like that I use it. Quite actually, profanity is kind of under an I like and I don't like list. It's like very split in the middle, split in half, because the fact of the matter is profanity sounds so powerful, but then once you hear playback, it also sounds so masculine and like not feminine. I don't really like profanity because of that matter. It doesn't sound feminine enough. It sounds very masculine. It just makes you sound very not intelligent. And yeah, so I just trying my best not to use it. I've even caught myself a few times on this episode trying not to use it, but not a fan of profanity. Last on the list, Last on the list, the crime rate in Louisiana. Did you know that Louisiana, Chicago. Louisiana keeps up with Chicago when it comes to crime rates, by the way. Louisiana is this big. Chicago is this big. Why does this big keep up with this big when it comes to killing, murder, steal, rob, kill? Why? Why? Louisiana is too small to be doing all that, and the population just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's a never-ending cycle because I ain't gonna lie, living in Louisiana will have you in the house. All they do, that's all they do out here is no gangs, no robbing, no stealing. That's all they do. And I never understood. We just had a mass shooting in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, by the way. We just had a mass shooting. There was another mass shooting when I was in high school. There was another mass shooting like a few days before the most recent one that I'm talking about. Why? And the first mass shooting, the second one, the one that was before the one at the mall, that was children that died. Kids that died. Younger than myself, children, elementary school student children, middle school student, like kids that passed. Louisiana is a big old question mark to me, and I know it's my hometown, but I have no love. I have a very extreme love-hate relationship with Louisiana, because as much as I love it and love our culture and love when the community can't act right, is as equal as the amount as I hate it. How bad we do stuff like this, killing kids, going into the mall, shooting in the mall, a public area in the mall, not caring about what pedestrian or random person or just kids, not caring, don't understand. And quite actually, I did say that the crime rate in Louisiana was last on my list, but the last real one on my list, our president of the United States of America. I hate that guy. Don't like you. Fact of the matter is, I don't even know really all what you do. I just know it ain't good. I know it ain't good. I know what you do ain't good. But it's a simple fact that you're a pedophile. And you've been on Jeffrey Epstein's island. And they trying to allow you to run for a third term? Y'all have lost your mind. Come on, bro. This man's name came up more in the files. His name is all over them files. Probably more than Jeffrey's name. He's nasty. Wasn't he grabbing cats? And I ain't talking about animals. Wasn't he grabbing cats not too long ago? Like during his first term? Wasn't he doing that? Wasn't he sending them freaking emails? And ain't he married? What, don't he hit on his daughter? Don't he flirt with his daughter? And y'all, this is who y'all voted for. And Louisiana, I'm getting on y'all too, because we're a red state. Why? Pedophilia. He's a pedophile, dog. His daughter, by the way, aside from pedophilia, the man flirts with his kid. The man's name is in the Epstein files. Do y'all know? Did y'all read the files? Do y'all know what he was doing? Do y'all know what they was doing on that island? In the files? Do y'all know what was happening? They were eating kids. They were eating babies. Calling it pizza. Making a jokes out of this. And y'all trying to let the man run for a third term. Keep in mind, we in a war right now that we actually have no business being in. He inserted himself into it. This wasn't a war that we had to fight. He put us in it. Now he using our tax money and the money that's supposed to be going to schools and the money that's supposed to be going to better the roads on this war. Shoot bombs and missiles and shit. Bombing children. Schools, by the way. Schools, like children. Schools, bro. Schools in Cuba. And y'all trying to let him run for a third term. That's all I got for y'all today. Planet Market is out.